So this week's video is going to be all about forest photography with all this beautiful wild garlic around me, and the challenge is I'm only allowed to use a wide angle lens. So you may ask why I challenge myself only using a wide angle lens for forest photography. It is not like I haven't used a wide angle lens for forest photography before, but over the years I have developed a taste for telephoto and medium focal lengths for forest photography. This is mainly to compress the scene and avoid the worst specular highlights in the canopy. A wide angle lens brings in so much visual information that you really need to think about how you compose your photos. Also, by limiting yourself to only one lens or one type of perspective, you can also challenge yourself more and enter a state of problem solving. It can be a frustrating task, and you may come away with fewer photos. But whether you manage to overcome it or not, you will definitely learn something new. In this video, I'll take 6 photos, and I'd love to hear your opinion in the end of the video. I do think I benefit from having all this wild garlic around and using the wide angle lens. So hopefully that will take the edge off the challenge, and I may actually come away with something interesting. But I will stick to the wide angle lens. But obviously, this being my video, I can put in it what I want. I can shoot what I want with the telephoto lens. I can just only show you the wide angle stuff. It is what it is. Alright, so first composition of the day. And since the challenge is to photograph all these beautiful flowers with only a wide angle lens to get that depth and distortion, not allowed to use the long lens, I am trying to find something that I can use as foregrounds that can work with all the wild garlic. So the forest floor here is just full of garlic, and I found this fallen over tree. And I made a composition that looks like this. So I have this cluster of wild garlic right there, trying to exclude these ones here so they don't take too much attention. I have one creeping into the scene right there, but I'm definitely going to clone that one out or crop it out afterwards. So what I'm basically doing, f11, I put up the ISO quite a bit because it's still rather dark in here, because I do want to have an acceptably fast shutter speed here, 1/10 of a second, just so that the little wind that we do have today, actually there's a decent amount of wind, but down here the wind doesn't interfere too much with the garlic. But you can see right there, even though there's hardly any wind, it is still waving a little bit. So I'm focus stacking this, f11, 1/10 of a second, and right now ISO 640. The sun is popping out from time to time. I just can't really see when it's going to do so because I'm in a forest and I can't see the clouds. But I think this shot is going to turn out really well also when the sun pops out and hopefully lights up the forest floor, maybe even the tree trunk. But besides that, I'm simply just waiting and getting a few different photos, and hopefully this will be a great shot. If you enjoy these videos where I'm in the field, be sure to like and subscribe. It really is the best way to show the YouTube algorithm that you want to see more of my videos. So I've come to a composition that I photographed 6 or so years ago, which is crazy to think the time flies like that. And I actually spent a little bit of time cleaning up the leaves from fallen down debris from the forest canopy. But the problem is that playing around with the composition and up and down and all that stuff, I don't really feel or see that I'm getting anything new and original, so I think I'll just skip this one. So since it is a wide angle challenge video, may as well talk about the wide angle, which is the Sony 16-35mm f4 PZ lens, my go-to wide angle zoom lens. I also have my Lauva 10mm in the backpack, Haven't used it yet, not sure I'm going to. The consequence of walking around in wild garlic with black pants. Funny. So I found this actually really cool composition where it completely looks as if there's an eye in the tree trunk, and I'm trying to like figure out how I can compose this photo. It is so hard because if I want an effect where I have the garlic within the photo, yet I'm not including too much of the canopy, I have to go a little bit back, but then I kind of lose the effect of that wide angle straight on the garlic. If I go a little bit closer to the garlic, then I will have to raise the camera up a little bit and include more of the canopy, which I don't like. So it's all about trying to find that proper middle ground between having the trees, like the one with the eye here, and these here in the background, which I actually also like. So I have like one going out from the side, another one in the background coming in, and then this one here in the middle, and then having the wild garlic down here. I've tried a couple of compositions where there is light on the foreground, and then I'm trying a few where the sun is behind a cloud. I actually think, looking at it, I may prefer the ones where the sun is behind the cloud, just to have the effect of the white garlic on the darker leaves stand out a bit more, so it's not like lit leaves and lit garlic. Another benefit is also that I, in post-processing, when there's not this too much direct light, can probably add in a tiny bit of like atmosphere, mist, some glow coming in from the side. Let's see how it's going to turn out. If you want to learn how I edit my photos, be sure to enroll in my huge post-processing course, Photoshop for Landscape Photographers. It is here where I share all my different techniques for getting proper photos. Everything from focus stacking, which is what I'm doing now, to adding glow and atmosphere, working with glow and atmosphere, working with luminosity masking, editing with luminosity masking, blending with luminosity masking, time blending, adding photos together, how to clean your photos properly, and all the good stuff that you can do in both Camera Raw or Lightroom, and what Photoshop is still completely necessary for to do. There's a link down in the description of the video, along with a coupon code to save a little bit of money. So this here is actually turning into a little bit of a challenge. Like, I kind of thought I could just waltz in here and start photographing, but I don't want to take all the photos that I have taken before, taking the same compositions. And I'm a week late for peak wild garlic, which means that a lot of it looks a little bit misery, a little bit sad. And that actually excludes me from taking a lot of the compositions that I do see, because the garlic's blech. So yeah, I need to think if I'll have anything to show for with this challenge. So I put on the Lauva 10mm. The Lauva 10mm has a phenomenal sun star, and shooting at 10mm I can really get that super distorted view. So right now I found a composition right here, and I'm using the shadow of this tree right there and having the sun just next to it, and then have this cluster of flowers just here in front of me. It's very simple, f14, ISO 640, simply just so that I can get a little bit of a faster shutter speed, and then I simply just auto exposure bracket this photo. And I'm just taking a few different versions so that I can get them while the flowers here are somewhat still. You can see I also have some flowers down here. I simply just push them down with my hand like this out of the scene, and then I take the shot like this. The only part I do not like about this scene is that I get so much of the canopy up here. And because I have that part of the canopy and that part of the sky exposed, I'm not entirely sure about this composition. Admittedly, not entirely sure. I took several of these ultra wide angle photos with the Laowa 10mm of the wild garlic, and I actually do think I managed to tone down the impact of the backgrounds in post-processing. A good combination of cloning, cleaning and luminosity masking did the job. It's always the general issue when composing forest photos with a wide angle, trying to avoid those specular highlights from the canopy when your angle of view is as large as it is. So I quite like the scene here, like it's way less dramatic than anything I photographed today, but it's simply just how the light comes into the forest, interacts with this beautiful forest floor of wild garlic. This orangey is, we're entering the golden hour right now, and it just creates these stripes right here, backlighting the flowers. It looks so beautiful, absolutely stunning. So yeah, really nice. If you want to learn more about light and how I use light in my landscape photography, especially in forest photography like this, I have a whole chapter all about backlighting and all the different ways you can use backlighting in your landscape and forest photography. My lighting ebook is super easy to read with minimal text and tons of examples. I've added extensive EXIF data to all the photos, including what filter I've used, if I've bracketed it, if I've focal length blended it, or any other of those kind of details. My ebook on light complements my two ebooks on composition so well, because light and composition obviously goes hand in hand when it comes to photography. The link for the ebooks is down in the description of the video, and if you subscribe to my newsletter, you can get the 3 free light versions of these ebooks completely for free, weekly notifications, and you will be the first to hear about any announcements regarding workshops, new products, or anything else I find relevant for you guys. Links to everything down in the description of the video. So here they are, the 6 photos. Which one do you like the best? Let me know down in the comments. I never really bother to stay through the sunset in a forest because you can't see the sky. But on my way home, the sky lit up, and passing a couple of train tracks, I was like, why not? And went out and took this photo. Check out the links in the description of the video if you want to learn more about landscape photography, and check out this new video all about composition. I share several new points I haven't talked about before, but sadly the video didn't do particularly well. I guess the YouTube algorithm decided that a video about composition isn't as relevant to the photographer as the newest video about the newest camera. Classic.